So how much of a pain is it to keep these guys confined for 3 months in the winter? That's kind of hard to answer, actually, because everybody has a difference in opinion on what's a pain in the butt to do every day, what's okay, what doesn't bother me at all. For me, we don't mind so much. We actually kind of like having them in here, especially during lambing season. And the other thing is while they're being fed hay. So I suppose I should be more specific about the daily attention requirements, right? So it takes me about 20 minutes a day to take care of my chores. Those chores basically include what you saw, moving this hay around if need be. When these feeders are full, so when we put 3 round bales in them, each one holds 3 round bales. So this one and the one behind me both hold 3 5x5 round bales. When we put these in here, we don't have to really deal with the hay until about 10 days in. It's kind of self-contained there. They eat, it keeps coming down. And then eventually, like this year, I kind of set myself up for failure because I had my baler cranked up with quite a bit of pressure and it was too much. Not only did it break a bearing on the baler, but it also made it to where these cores are really tough for them to get open. So when they get down towards the cores, so like the last foot or so of the center of the bale, unfortunately I have to kind of roll that out for them a little bit because it is very packed. So the hay stuff, not really a daily requirement that I do anything with. However, I do need to come over here. I gotta check their water every day. And their water's a real easy check. All I do, come in here, throw the hay that they decide to deposit in there out, and then I fill up their mineral feeder that's right here on the wall. Usually I do all that stuff though while they're outside, and I'll show you what they're doing outside. Now in reality, I'm going to fill this bucket up 3 times, but for your viewing pleasure, this one bucket is going to fill up the entire trough. Now, this trough is 6-inch PVC that's been cut in half. It is 90 feet long. It is also crooked, as you probably can tell. And you may be asking, why do I leave this door open? Well, the reason being is because as we feed these guys, they get all excited, they start to run down to this end. So if I can leave this open, make it where I can run in there real quick and open the gate, there's a lot less of a traffic jam, and it makes it for a much more pleasant transition from them going from inside the barn out here. Now, as mentioned, typically when they're out here, this is when I walk through and I'll just check and make sure that nothing weird's going on inside the barn, water's working, all the hay is spread out to where they can easily access it, and that their mineral trough is topped off. Now, if I top their mineral trough off when they're in there, then they all want to run to it, and then they take a couple licks and they're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Spirit is sitting here waiting patiently at the gate because she wants to help move these guys back in the barn. And she actually does that every day for us. Not because, you know, the sheep are a real headache. They're kind of a headache, but typically, now she helps me move the sheep back in, not because the sheep are dangerous and they're gonna kill me or anything like that. Now, it is possible that some rams get a little wild and rambunctious and try to hurt you, but we've only had 2 instances here with that. And since we've got a herding dog, we haven't had it at all with us. Now, they might try to mess with her a little bit, but she puts them in their place pretty quick. The thing is, as you see, they associate me with food. As soon as I walk through there, they already know that they're gonna get fed. So once I walk in at the top of this barn, or even, I don't have to even walk in this barn. as soon as they hear any sort of noise out here in this feedlot, they all start coming down to this end, and they know that they're gonna get fed. They also associate all that food with me or my wife. Therefore, when it comes time to move them back in, they don't really want to listen to us too much. They don't really take us seriously. They don't see us as a threat, which is a good thing. That means that we treat them well and that they have no reason to fear us. But, like I said, it does make it difficult to get them back in. Can you do it without a livestock dog? Sure. Would I want to go back to doing it without a livestock dog? No. We used to use the flags and try to get big and scary with them. It's hard to get them to kind of respect you at that point and realize that I really want them to do something. Also, while the sheep are out there eating, we feed Moose, who is a Jersey bull. He's about to be a Jersey steer, but we got him for free and couldn't find anybody that needed a breeding bull for the Jersey side of things. So he will eventually be on our dinner plates. And if you can't tell, he associates me with food too, because even if I don't have this bucket in my hand, still thinks that I'm just coming over here to feed him, somehow magically. So, again, the animals don't really seem to respect us. Let me rephrase that. The animals aren't mean to us, they're not bothersome to us, but they don't fear us and they don't respect us enough to move whenever we want them to move away from us. If you can't tell, she's ever so patiently waiting to do her thing. Another new hobby we recently picked up and that I do during sheep chores. While those guys are out there eating their food, I come over here and I feed these pigs. Yeah, those ones. Again, it is Christmas Eve, so we haven't been saving too many leftovers and scraps for them because we've been eating all the leftovers, getting through until today when my mom and Chrissy are both gonna make some good food for us. So once they get done, they like to come up here, try to see if they can nudge the grain bin and get a little extra out, which, yeah, sometimes they do. But they just don't want to go away from it. Spirit is not a professional livestock dog, all right? She doesn't go to competitions. She does exactly what I need her to do, how I need her to do it. And she does the same thing for us out in the field. Gentle. Wait. Spirit. Spirit. Wait. Ah. Slow. Oh, man. All right, well, we'll add that to the list of chores. This thing's been up for 3 years, so I guess it was eventually going to have a problem. Wow, they really respect you. You didn't have to do anything at all today. You just walked. Slow. Slow. Oh man, you guys got my twine caught. Walk up. Walk up. Ah, gentle. That's not walking. Hey, come here. Good girl. All done. Spirit, come here. All done. Good girl. You two didn't really do much. You're there to protect, right? I know, that's what you do. Now, these two big galoots, this is Scruff right here below me. He's kind of hard to see because he's just interested. Hey, don't pee on that. And that's Fluff. So this is Fluff and Scruff and actually George. This is their off time. They don't really do much while the sheep are in the barn because the sheep are pretty well protected in here now. We do shut these doors when it gets colder, but it's actually really nice out today, so we're not going to shut the door. We're going to leave it like that. Well, we're going to shut it, but we're not going to latch it, just like you've seen it earlier when I went in. Mainly because that will allow airflow through there and keep it from being stagnant. Makes it nice, fresh air for them. So that's just how simple it is. So I'm able to feed them, check on their stuff, whatever little nuances I need to knock out while I'm in there, take care of all those. move on to feeding Moose, who you see behind me here, the cow, and the piglets. And then that's it. That's all my chores for the day. Typically I am doing this at night, but obviously I'm off today, Christmas Eve. But usually I do it when I get home. You know, as a soldier, sometimes I get home at a decent hour. Sometimes I get home at like 4:30 or 5. Other times I don't get home until 7 or 8. So it just kind of depends.